Hi, it's Ben from Dita Solutions. In today's session, what I'm going to do is show you how to set up an assessment in the Dita Creator. So we're in our module here. Firstly, click on the stage that you want to put the assessment into, and then go up to the Insert button and choose New Section, and just give that a name. And for the page type, drop down, go down to and click Assessment, and then hit the Create section. This is the assessment that we just created, which has all these fields. And what I'm going to do is take you through one that I've already set up just to show you what you put in. So I'll just click on this assessment here. And once again, there's three main sections: the details of the setup of the assessment, the questions in the assessment, and the feedback. So firstly, with the details, you have your title name, which you can change here, an introduction, which lets the user know what the assessment is about, the allowed attempts, which is only ever one in an assessment because it's a pass-fail situation. It's weighting. So with the weighting, this depends on how many assessments you have throughout your module. So if you only have one assessment, it'll equal 100 for 100%, and depending on what weighting you want to give for each assessment. So you may have two assessments, one earlier on in the piece, which you might only give a weighting of 20%. Then that means the final assessment you'd need to give it a weighting of 80%. So they always have to add up to 100. Total marks is dependent on how many questions that you have set up in this assessment, and it'll automatically populate that once you create your questions. And the pass marks is what it takes out of those questions, how many to pass the assessment. So you can change that. Below, show introduction, which is this piece of information before they start. Randomize answers, so that every user, when they go through, the answers will be in a different order so that there's no cheating. Show marks, this is so that the user knows how much each question is worth and what the overall marks are. And show summary, which is a snapshot of all of this information at the start before they start the assessment. Feedback, we'll jump to that. The feedback, if you click the show feedback, well, then you'll get these three statements: a pass statement if they pass the assessment, pending statement, and that is if they have some questions in there that need to be marked by the facilitator, like essays or short answers. They'll get a statement giving them information and letting them know what will happen, and a fail statement if they do not pass the requirements, and then you can let them know there what you want them to do from that point. Also, show assessment mark. If you tick that at the end of the assessment, then it'll bring up their marks and what the pass mark was, what mark they got, and if they're successful. Going into the questions, just like the exercises, you can either create new questions by clicking on this button up the top here and choosing what type of question you want. I'll go through that more in another session with feedback as well. Or you can simply choose a question from one of your pools in the drop-down pool section, and then push that question over, and then it shows up in that assessment. And to remove it, just click the remove button, and then I'll take that back to 3. Right, that's about all that's needed and required for setting up assessments. If you have any more questions about the Dita suite of products, you can go to www.ditasolutions.com. Thank you.